A nice job by the defense there, tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ATL Atlanta, Georgia. We've got another user matchup in non-conference play. Hello, everybody. I am Big D, soon to be joined by Coach G, as we watch his coaching buddy, Coach Biggs, take on Bench, who's been on a very long hiatus. Actually,
it's Mendoza.
And I'm going to get this caught up because the audio seems to be a little bit behind.
That defender got to that receiver so quick.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We got a great matchup. Bench, welcome back, brother.
Need a big play here on this opening drive.
Hopefully the run pace don't hit you too much, as we've got a first down and 10. A nice throw.
He goes to the ground, but not before
Mendoza, quarterback, junior from Florida.
And a really good job
there to make the grab.
Being very decisive. He saw his matchup. He went for it. He attacked it. Got the positive gain. I would say he's going to find that guy a few more times today.
Now I believe I am joined by Coach G.
Nowhere. Stop.
Coach G, how you doing, brother?
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good to have you here, man. Get to watch your coaching buddy in action and get to watch a little PSBN, get to be on PSBN.
He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it.
Oh, excited to be here. Excited to be here.
Glad to have you.
And hit another player.
We're starting off with another third down for Georgia State.
Keep that in mind.
So this is his first user game of the year. He started off the year with a CPU matchup because, well, he wasn't in the dynasty at the time, but he's back, better than ever. Now got a matchup with Coach G at home in Atlanta.
Grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
Yeah, wow, this is exciting. I get to watch my next opponent and also a quarterback I was.
No kidding. As we're gonna get a pick six here on the first drive of the game. Malcolm Hart's on 38 yards to the crib. And Nebraska's going to lead 6-0 early in this one. One interception, one touchdown for the young man. The Huskers going to take an early lead, proving why they should be ranked 23rd in the nation after that dominating win over App State. Trying to build off of today on the road in Georgia State. Coach, that was a heck of a start for Biggs there, and exactly what he was looking to do.
They're about to kick it
Oh,
away
100%. Being able to key off the quarterback to pick that ball off and then having open space in front of him to take it to the house was huge.
Almost looked like everything was planned out, which makes sense with you guys being coaches and all. Georgia State's going to bring it out. 1st and 10 to the 25. Going to get another chance at an offensive possession. Having an impact player quarterback is definitely going to help Georgia State.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for
Oh, 100%. And being able to either stick to the run or try to run it on Nebraska is going to be huge. But it goes back to pass.
You got to make sure you stay balanced, especially against a team that's now in the top 25 and hoping to stay there and make a college football playoff push. A balanced game is going to be huge against a team like this. But a nice first down throw and catch, and now they're going to move to the run. And a nice move gets about 5 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line for Freddie Brock and the Panthers.
The passing game sells. The passing game is exciting, but it's not exciting to get 5 or 6 yards of pop on the ground.
And it's very interesting to see how well and how old this Georgia State team is. Got a lot of juniors
I like the insight. He's got a first down there on the drag route, so a nice throw and catch. DeAndre Coleman, the sophomore from Alabama, getting his first reception of the game, reeled it in for a first down at the 47. So Georgia State moving the ball now. Anything you're seeing early, Coach? Anything you're diagnosing from either of these sides on offense or defense?
It looks like Georgia State actually likes to keep short game, quick game for passing, and then some inside runs. Oh, as he hits an inside run again.
Definitely sticking to the game plan. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 48-yard line. Trying to move it into opponent territory, and they're going to go right back to the run. No, of play action, tight end screen. And does get into opponent territory, but only by a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6, so another third down coming. But Georgia State is moving the ball for now. We could end up with a little bit of a dual game action here if Florida Boy ends up responding. But for now, we got one game in the ATL. That's our focus. Georgia's taking a throw, and he lofts that one, but great defense by Nebraska, swatting it away. Stephon Thompson, the middle linebacker from North Carolina, making the play, and Georgia State going to be forced to either have a long 4th and 6 or a punt. And judging by the time it's taking him to pick the play, I'm going to say he's going to go for this one from his own 49. 6 yards is a go.
Yeah. I would definitely think that's a good idea. Just being down 7-0, you don't want to. Oh,
maybe not.
Come out in a punt.
Trying to trust his defense. I mean, we haven't seen Raiola on the field yet. And great coverage, though, as they'll get the ball at the 4-yard line. So,
wow,
96 yards for Nebraska to pay dirt. So at least great coverage. I see why. See why he wanted to go for the punt now, putting Raiola in that Cornhusker offense in a doozy of a situation.
That was a great call by Georgia State.
They're backed up, 1st and 10 from inside their own 5. Let's see if they can create some
Looks like
space.
going aggressive first play.
It's Raiola.
Sending a lot of men out for the pass. Got him, and he could go the whole way. 20, 10. Touchdown, Nebraska. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. They've had the ball for a total of like 15 seconds, and they've got 13 points on the board, about to be 14. They needed 96 yards for pay dirt. They got all of it. Coleman, 96-yard touchdown. What a play for the Cornhuskers.
Phenomenal play. Good run, good throw by Raiola.
Looked like Georgia State was going after the safety, but just went over his head.
And he's definitely looking like the young Patrick Mahomes. He just had a gunslinger on him.
With throws like that, that is the real deal right there.
Guys, the Georgia State offense returns to the field.
So 1st and 10 from the 25 as Georgia State's going to look to mount that drive once again.
That's right.
Little speed option here, going to keep it with the quarterback. What a toss! How did that get out of there? Nobody in front of him. Kiss him goodbye. Play the fight song. Georgia State touchdown.
Incredible pitch.
That could have either been, that was, if you ask me, that was going to be 6 one way or another. Either Nebraska was picking that up and taking it. I mean, what vision? Split the defenders with the pitch and just nobody in front of the running back. I believe that was Freddie Brock. Took it 75 yards to the Kribski. Touchdown in 11 seconds. And we are starting this game off with fireworks. 2 one-play touchdowns and a pick 6. You couldn't ask for a better start in a game like this as a fan.
This is a great start, and as you're seeing come across the bottom scoreboard, SMU is currently 14-7 to Boise State as well.
Yeah, Boise State going to be in trouble in that one. SMU is no joke, even as the CPU. Kid Cutta definitely cemented his legacy with that team because they are playing great as the top 5 team in the nation.
Phenomenal defense, too. Phenomenal defense. That cover 3 is hard to beat.
And they'll go bubble screen and a first down and a lot more. Oh, I thought we were going to see another one-play touchdown, but he's brought down right at the 5-0, the 50-yard line after the 25-yard reception from Doss. Just makes it look easy out there, Coach.
Nebraska has run once. They've just put it in the air every time.
Well, they ran it.
As I say,
yep, they ran it once, and Georgia State was ready for it. So, looks like Georgia State's mainly playing for the run when they should be playing for the pass. Dylan Raiola has been dicing him up so far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile
2nd and 8 from the 48-yard line. A couple more chances for Nebraska to get this first down. Raiola going to pitch it out. Can he get there? Yes, Ivan gets there, or Ives gets there. And he will be across the 40 to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Nebraska, as the Cornhuskers look to move out in front even further.
And the Huskers will line it up
And
on
being able to
first
run
and
a speed option and your quarterback not even get hit, that is your ideal
Here's the
play right
handoff.
there.
Absolutely. This O-line is working overtime. As you see again, a huge hole for Ives.
Running room there
And
makes
he
a
is up
really good pickup
inside the
before defense
25.
forced out to it.
And now 1 yard away from the red zone for the Cornhuskers. I mean, this offense just looks unstoppable. They are just moving the ball with no individual legitimacy.
It truly is a masterpiece to watch this offense work. And whatever he's calling is working. Positive yards after positive yards.
There they go again inside the 5 now. First and goal. RPO game is working, and it's going to work again. Can he get in? Yes, sir. Touchdown, Nebraska. Emmett Johnson, RB2 getting some reps, and now he's got 6.
Plus 21.5 is not looking good right now.
Georgia State's going to have to put some work in his second half. Heck, we're in the first quarter still. We got a minute and a half to go through one. What a game so far. These two are just going at it. And Nebraska's offense just putting a statement out there. That was a period. Not a question mark. Not an exclamation point. A period. They're making a statement.
For a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25.
Nebraska is averaging 10 yards a carry, which is impeccable because passing-wise, he's probably averaging 50 yards at reception.
Yeah, with a 25-yard gain and basically a 100-yard gain. Yeah, Dylan Rail has been pretty good in the air, I'd say. That average is pretty much right where he wants it to be. First and 10 from the 25. Dropping back, might have the corner route, could be dangerous, and that one's going to be picked, and Nebraska's going to come back and try to get another huge return, and they get it across the 50. And they'll set up again at the 41-yard line. And as you said, Coach, that 21 points is looking like it's getting further and further out of reach.
Now, the real question is Nebraska gonna keep just pounding it on them, or are they gonna run different stuff, different RPOs, different passes?
You ask me, I say, run what works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they have to take a timeout here for the winding down play clock, and we'll still say first and 10 from 41, just one less timeout this half.
This Coach Biggs really is a Kyle Shanahan type of play caller. It's very interesting.
Hopefully the connection stays pretty stable here, and looks like we're back.
Motion from the offense.
First and 10 from the 41.
They'll give it to
And they'll hand it off up the middle and get a nice 4 yards.
Down every time, 2nd and 6.
I'm going to try to get this one going again.
Willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of it.
So 2nd and 6 from the 37.
Receivers onto the field, 2 to the right, 2 to the left on 2nd and 6.
Nebraska's very young with the sophomore quarterback, sophomore receiver, sophomore running back. This guy is going to be good when these guys are juniors and seniors.
They're good right
Even
now.
better than they are now.
Yeah, which is even scarier considering this team is ranked and probably going to be moving up after this week. First and 10 at the 19 now after the huge screenplay. So a red zone snap incoming for the team in red. Nebraska from the 19. Not a lot of stadium pulse for Georgia State right now. Not a lot for these fans to get excited about. Looking to take this to the second quarter, and they will. So 21-7 after one. Nebraska coming out firing in that first quarter, and no signs of slowing down. 21-7 as we start the next set of 10 minutes.
Enough. There are a lot of fans leaving already after the quarter.
I could see it. These fans have been through a lot. They went through a 2-10 season last year, and they do not want to see another one. They're trying to avoid 0-2 for the second straight year. Rayola was just going to hand this one off on a sweep play and stays on his feet. But the ball comes out and it's recovered by Georgia State. He may be down, though. We'll see if they review it when before Georgia State comes on the field.
They had it. I think it came down before that knee came down.
We'll see if the refs think the same thing. As Nebraska and Georgia State come on the field, and they are going to leave it with Georgia State. So a huge turnover for the Panthers, and now a chance to get back into this game. A nice run on first down, making it 2nd and 4, and that's what you got to do. You got to try to shift the momentum back in your direction after a tough first quarter. You can make this a one-score game after this drive.
Yeah, and if they can make it a one-score game, it will definitely help the long run. Just because they get the ball and it gives them good possession of time.
I agree. You definitely want to control the rock with an offense like Nebraska. Jet touch pass nearly goes backwards, but still manages to pick up 2.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is
Definitely think Georgia State probably needs to take a shot here.
It looks like he's staying conservative, and he can't quite get it. It's going to be 4th and 1. We'll see what his call is, and he's going to line up at goal line. Looks like he's saying, what have I got to lose? 4th and 1 from the 21. And I'm thinking a goal or a sneak might be incoming, but I don't know if he's going to get it with that D-line right there. We'll see. Changing the play. 5 seconds to snap it. They're going to hand it off instead, and he just gets it. So a nice audible. Only gets 2 yards, but that's all he needed. And a nice play call by Bench there, and Georgia State will stay on the field. Definitely looked like he was going for the sneak there, but audibled out of it when he saw that the D-line pinched right on the nose.
How close the safeties were, he could have potentially popped it over them too.
I agree. 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain to Freddie Brock. That's his 2nd catch of the game.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
2nd and 7 from the 26. This is going to be a handoff. Probably not exactly what he wanted to do with the spin move there. But a 2-yard gain nonetheless, and 3rd and 5, incoming, no loss of yardage here.
Brock is definitely having a day himself with 8 attempts for 94 yards. A big 75-yarder definitely helped that too.
That average was definitely boosted because of that 75-yarder. No kidding. 3rd and 5 from the 28. Looking to keep this drive alive. He wanted the zig route, and he had it after a minute. It was caught, but incomplete, and this is going to be a punt from Georgia State. So it looked like he had 2 receivers on that side, but the Nebraska linebacker did a nice job of covering them both and forcing the punt here for 4th and 5.
The punt team sends it the other way. Not going to risk a return here. Calls for the fair catch and makes it just around the 30-yard line. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work.
So 1st and 10 from the 32 as Raiola will step back onto the field. Trying to increase this lead. Going for the long ball. He might have him again. No, it's intercepted. Georgia State coming out of nowhere with the pick. And he might go the whole way inside the 10. Down at the 2-yard line. Georgia State coming out of nowhere with the user pick on Raiola.
Coleman had to hawk him down like DK Metcalf.
No kidding. What a... Yeah. But what a play from the DB to pick that one off and nearly take it for 6.
Johnson, that was a play.
So 1st and goal from the 2. We'll see where they go with it. Handoff, nobody in front of him. It's a touchdown, Georgia State. So all of a sudden, we've got a 1-score ball game and new life from Benchwarmer. What a set of plays for Georgia State.
on a play call. Going the opposite way you normally do. Yeah, that's very smart.
Nothing much you could do on defense there. Offensive line created a Grand Canyon for him, and he walked right through it for the one-play touchdown. Defense sets him up with a 2, and the offense scores in one play. And all of a sudden, those 21 and over bettors, or those 21 plus bettors, not looking so bad right now. 7-point game, about halfway through the second quarter. We'll see what Nebraska does to respond. Up 7 at the 25.
I think one thing that's definitely saving Georgia State is they're controlling the clock. I mean, they have doubled Nebraska's time of possession.
And that's what you have to do against a high-powered team like this. Going for that middle again and nearly picked. Just swatted down that time, but Georgia State, this defense seems to be everywhere now. Everywhere they go, it seems like there's a hand in the passing lane.
They have definitely turned it on.
And you have to. That stadium pulse is growing now. These fans got something to cheer about. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wanted to go to the flat. Instead, it was to the bubble screen and nearly another interception. That one was Ronnie Crum in there on the coverage. Number 42 sophomore from Georgia. Oh, and that was nearly a walk-in touchdown.
Arm arrogance, right? He's going to spin the football, try to make plays. Like, listen, take the good.
It is absolutely insane. Like, these DBs need to start working on some hand drill.
No kidding.
That is two picks.
Two picks in a row. 3rd and 10 now from Nebraska. What can Georgia State do in response? See if they can keep this to 4th down. Going deep again. He might have him this time, though. He does! And it's going to be a touchdown, Nebraska. In response to the DBs missing the interceptions, Jalen Lloyd goes deep for 75.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that
As such a smaller program and not getting as many recruits, you can't give up those type of big plays.
Right, you got to bracket those big receivers like that. But Nebraska makes them pay for not doing so. And then it's going to be, and after 2 missed interceptions, Nebraska makes them pay. And what a response from the Cornhuskers.
Well, I think if Georgia State sticks on their game plan like they did last drive, I think they can go right down the field.
Honestly, that offense hasn't looked bad. Just a couple of shaky choices and possessions, but we'll see. And that one goes backwards. Nebraska snuffed that one out from the beginning. Roger Graney, the freshman from Texas, in there from his strong safety spot, making that tackle for loss. And now Georgia State a much tougher 2nd and 14. I apologize. From the 21.
I think if you're Nebraska here, you got to blitz.
Why not?
Try to get some type of turnover.
Go to the corner route, and it is caught. What a throw from Mendoza. Junior is 11-15 right now. He does have 2 picks, but honestly, other than those 2 picks, he's throwing dots out here. What a play there on the corner route. Oh, we're going to have a booth review here, so hold everything. We might have this one getting called back, but no. Stands as called. 1st down, Georgia State up across the 40. What a throw.
Hard call. It looked like both feet were in.
I agree. That would have been good on Sunday, let alone Saturday. They'll go right back to the ground and gain a nice 6 from Freddie Brock. And if you ask me, I'd say keep giving the ball to number 25. That senior from New York is carrying this offense on his back. And I don't see any reason to go away from it. And they went to the out route, and that one's picked as well. Hartzog is going to score his 2nd pick 6 of the first half. What a play from 48 yards.
That was a great read. He just got into his break when that ball was coming his way. That was a great.
He sent everything on that pick, and it paid off. 2 pick 6s for Malcolm Hartzog, and what a game he's having so far. Nebraska pushes their lead to 21, 34-14 in the first half.
This could get bad fast.
Well, we'll see. That Georgia State defense has been tough so far, so maybe that's the highlight of the game. But honestly, maybe keeping it on the ground might be the right way to go for Georgia State in this one. Freddie Brock's been spectacular. And we'll see if they decide to give it to him.
If Georgia State could score here, get the ball back at halftime, I think they could, and score again, they're right back in this game.
To be fair, I do believe Nebraska gets the ball out of half, I think.
Oh, okay.
But either way, you need six. You need 6 here. That's basically a no-brainer. But a nice gain on first down gets out to the 34, and who else but Freddie Brock involving that man in the offense any way possible, and I don't disagree. I'd do the same thing. Now coming out empty for Georgia State with 3 to go in the first half.
The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
And he's going to just throw this one away, a smart decision by Mendoza, and we're going to have a 2nd and 10 from 34.
And they want this crowd to stay involved and be an asset in the game, but they need to start making plays. They can't keep throwing incompletions this early.
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down.
2nd and 10 from the 34. Now we'll see another empty set for Mendoza. Going across the middle on the drag route. Stays on his feet, but doesn't get much more, maybe 3 on the reception. And we'll see they need 7. Need the 44 for a first down. Going across the middle, tipped and incomplete once again. Roger Grady, the strong safety again, in there for the deflection, and now the punt team coming on for Georgia State once again.
The fact that Nebraska has a lot of solid players that are sophomore or younger is incredible to me.
Absolutely. They could make a huge run this year with guys that are in their 2nd year of college. The guys that are literally younger than us. It's ridiculous. First and 10 from the 21 as Nebraska looks to increase that lead before halftime. Go to the check down this time, and a nice move by the running back. Gets him 8 yards on first down. Up to the 29 from Ives. 2nd reception of the game. 25 yards on the day.
But you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball.
2-minute timeout time. Still got a 21-point ball game here, and we'll see how aggressive Nebraska wants to play this, up 3 scores on Sun Belt team Georgia State.
If you're Nebraska, I think you gotta get aggressive here.
No reason not to. Your offense has been pretty solid so far. But great defense there from Georgia State again. And they forced the incompletion. And what a defensive stand this would be for the Panthers if they could force a 3 and out from Nebraska.
Make those big explosive plays out of the backfield. Just got to make sure he concentrates.
Yeah, they could force 3 and out, get the ball back, be able to score. They're putting themselves in a very good position to make a comeback in this game.
Looks like he's just going to go to the check down, and why not? Wide open for Ives, and he'll go down at the 39. And I don't know how aggressive he's going to get. 1:50 to go in the first half. Took an RPO coming. Go to the screen on the bubble route. And first down, still in bounds, but up across the 50 to the 49. Coleman with his 2nd catch of the game for 109 yards total.
Is spinning out of control. Already over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, they're being aggressive offensively, throwing the football, trying to take advantage of this defense.
First and 10 for the 49.
Got their quarterback right now in a groove.
Going for the quick drag route, looking to get out of bounds. He'll stay in bounds and go down, so we're looking to wind that clock some more. Trying to be nearly perfect on time management, and so far they've done a solid job. 1:30 to go, and the clock will run.
It is incredible how well Raiola is throwing the ball. Like, even though they're short passes, he's putting it right on the money every time.
He's going to take off himself this time.
They'll wrap him up, and he didn't find the same kind of running
But he only gets 2 on that carry.
Welcome to the
Careful on how many shots he takes. As
that is a man you do not want to lose for the rest of the year.
No, not at all. He will completely change your offense.
2nd and 8 now. That wear and tear is coming down a little bit in the yellow. 2nd and 8 going across the middle. Tough catch from the tight end, and he makes it. Inside a minute to go in the first half in Atlanta.
Another great ball.
Great pass and a great catch. 1st and 10 from the red zone now for Nebraska. Going to the flat this time, and nobody in front of him. And he's just going to score. Touchdown, Nebraska. That's going to be 42 points. In the first half for Nebraska.
And the tight end, I tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down the red zone area.
A dominant first season as a coach.
No kidding. A 1-0 record so far. Looking to make it 2-0. And how about 42 points and a half for Nebraska? Multiple one-play touchdowns. 2 pick sixes. This team is looking dominant and poised for a playoff berth. And going to be a challenge to anybody who goes against them. Coach, what are you seeing from this one? What are you looking at for your matchup next weekend?
I'm really going to have to mix it up. He's running a lot of cover 3. He's really spreading out his defense, which leaves gaps, but also leaves opportunities to make turnovers. So our quarterback and our receivers are really going to have to work on timing routes, just so that they can be able to hit those tight holes and continue to make plays.
Yeah, I got you. Definitely want to find the gaps in the defense and, like you said, make the holes between those zones, because he's running, like you said, he's running a lot of cover 3 this game, so it's all about game planning, Coach, and I know nobody knows that as well as you do. 4th and inches from the 27.
They're going to be a big time this week.
Definitely on PSBN primetime. Lofted it to near the end zone inside the 20. Swatted down. And Nebraska leads 42-14 after 2. And what a game we're seeing from Raiola, as they'll get another chance on offense.
This has easily got to be one of the best games of Nebraska's had so far, and could be their potential best game of the season playing.
Right, only 2 games in, and they've already got a Game of the Year candidate, putting up 42 points, 6 touchdowns in the first half. It's hard to beat that, and we might see it again here. Nebraska treating Georgia State kind of like an FCS team here. But nice defense there, but a great catch from Coleman, his 3rd of the day. 2nd and 3 on the 7-yard gain off the RPO.
Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
This offense set up with a 2nd and short.
2nd and 3 now from the 32. Looks like another RPO again.
Pre-snap motion in the backfield.
I wonder if we see Coach Biggs take out Raiola.
It's honestly not a bad idea. Maybe if you score on this drive, you think about taking out that future star, 5-star QB Dylan Raiola, basically baby Patty Mahomes. At least he wants to believe that.
Yeah, but he won't admit to it.
First down run for Ives goes for 4. He's got 44 yards on the day. Only 16 yards last game on 8 attempts. Today, 6 attempts, 44 yards. Everything that Nebraska's calling is working. 2nd and 6 from the 40 in Nebraska territory. And a handoff on the RPO, and good defense there from Georgia State. No gain on the play. Mason Harmon the freshman from Georgia, in the backfield to make the play. And now 3rd and 6, a tough play for Nebraska, and a lot of pressure on Georgia State to get this Nebraska offense off the field, because boy, could they use it.
Still formations to go around.
And it looks like they're going to call timeout. Didn't really like the look, and play clock was winding down, so called the timeout.
They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40.
3rd and 6 from the 40. They're just going to hand it off. Can Georgia State stop them? They can. It's going to be 4th and 2. And it looks like Nebraska's going to send the punt team out there. So Nebraska, Georgia State did stop Nebraska for the time being. They're going to get a chance to at least cut into this lead. 4 scores at the moment, 28 points. We'll see if they can lower that with an offensive possession here. Here comes the punt return from about the 13-yard line. Gets to the outside. He's got some space. Inside the 40, a nice juke move. 43-yard line, nearly flipped the field. And a nice return, and that's exactly what you need for momentum. If you are Georgia State, the Panthers starting in good field position.
A little more speed, and he would have beaten him on the outside. But it was still fed.
They're so confident they're going to let him take the snaps. Jet touch pass from the Wildcat goes nowhere. Nebraska, and that D-line, great push. Van Poppel, junior from Texas, a huge play for them as they get in the backfield for the 1-yard loss. His first tackle for loss of the season. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Panthers.
It's 2nd and 11. Looking for a man.
See, I want to know what's going through Georgia State's OC's mind, right?
Well, evidently nothing good there, as we've got a sack, and Van Poppel again breaking through that Georgia State offensive line, bringing them down for a big sack. So 3rd and 18 from the 35. Thrown out in double mug. We'll see where Georgia State wants to go with it.
Looking downfield, and he
has some time in the pocket. It's going to launch it downfield. And tipped and incomplete. Great defense by Mario Buford, true freshman from Texas, as we'll get another punt from Georgia State. Just great defense from Nebraska. Not a lot of answers on offense from Georgia State.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. On the return, it's Boyd. They'll get down and put a stop for this return. They'll mark it at the 32.
So from the 32-yard line is where Raiola will take the field.
See, I see a bright spot in Georgia State's defense. That middle linebacker, he's continuing to be able to play special teams, play defense, and perform. And he's a freshman, so I mean, that's a very bright thing for your defense.
For sure. We got a play action here from Nebraska going long on play 1, but just out in front of the receiver. As Raiola overthrows it to the left just a bit, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the same spot.
You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
After the misfire, it's
your top right, you saw Nick Harbor leading the nation in touchdown grabs. What a great game we saw last week from Beamer and Seagloss. A 1-point finish in almost overtime. But here we've got a run from Nebraska. Goes for 3 from Ives, and we'll get another 3rd and 7. Georgia State looking to make another stop and get Mendoza back on the field.
If they can convert here, that type of play can
Where was
really
this
give you a shot of
defense
momentum.
when
Dropping back.
they're earlier in the game? They're coming out and playing now, I get it. But at least they're saving face.
And a great throw there on 3rd and 7, rolling to his right. and makes a great throw. And Coleman with another reception. I believe he's up to 5 on the game. Well over 120 yards receiving. And he sets his team up across the 50, inside the 45. Rayola's going to keep this one. I'm not sure how much I agree with that. Just getting your future quarterback just beat up in the backfield. 2nd and 11 now from 45.
I'm responsible for the quarterback. Good job playing his
Coleman
responsibility.
to Raiola, or the Raiola to Coleman relationship, that is a bright future relationship right there.
Absolutely, and what a jet touch pass. Rayola going to rack up those stats, but that was all the receiver on that play. That was incredible running. Way to tiptoe the sideline, stay in bounds, and get them in the red zone.
Be able to have the agility to tightrope that sideline.
They're going to go right back to that jet touch pass. I'm not sure he's going to get caught. He does, though, inside the 5. Devon Hall with his first quote-unquote catch of the day. Another true freshman this time from Nebraska. 1st and goal from the 5.
Right behind the offensive line. Because of the timing, he was able to outflank.
Another play-action play. Raiola going to the flat. Can't quite get there. Georgia State's defense does hold off for one play. Raiola today, 15 of 20, 359 yards and 3 touchdowns. 6 for him last game, so he's going to have 9 touchdowns, possibly more through 2 games. At least 9 touchdowns through 2 games. And what a great season so far it's been for him. I mean, can't really ask much more of your freshman quarterback. One of the flat.
No, and those are the numbers.
Nebraska's kicker, Tristan Alvano, has 99 kick power. His target is the 47-yard line. That's a 64-yard field goal is his target line.
So you can mix it up and keep that defense guessing.
That is incredible.
That is unheard of from a college kicker. And they're only going to need him for an extra point here as John Ron Barnum, I think, the Nebraska running back. I believe that's a 3rd-string running back now. Bonner in the end zone. And once again, Nebraska going to put up 7 more. 49-14. Nebraska leads Georgia State.
Fellas, a big-time top 15 duel. Let's get right to it. Michigan is running away.
See, now, do you put in your backups here for Georgia State and not get anybody else hurt?
Honestly, maybe you have an impact player, a quarterback. Might be smart to think about something like that when you've got a full season ahead of you. I mean, this game may be out of reach right now, but you're also playing a number 23 team in the nation. And we knew nothing about Coach Biggs coming into this league. You definitely did, Coach, so you've got him on radar lock. But we're seeing right now that he is the real deal, winning both games that he's played by multiple scores. Both on the road, no less. He had to go to App State and now to Georgia State. And I believe he's got to go to Pitbull Stadium as well next week. So 3 hostile environments, and we'll see how he handles all 3. We've seen how he can handle 2, but Pitbull Stadium is always a different beast.
Yeah, it will be a very interesting game.
We'll be watching with high intent at PSBN. That'll be from week 4 of the Dynasty. Penguins Icebox. As well in the 3rd quarter here. 49-14. Nebraska making a statement here in Atlanta.
Fresh set of downs after the completion.
From the 33.
He'll ride his man on the option.
He goes speed option. And that might be one of those plays you don't necessarily need to run if you are Georgia State. I mean, that just could end up getting your quarterback hurt, and he's like the one guy you don't want to get hurt. An impact player, him and Freddie Brock are probably the 2 most vital pieces of this offense.
Yeah, and I don't know how you just continuously are. Oh, that's a good little pass.
So nice 1st and 10 here for Georgia State. Yep.
It's very intriguing to see how Georgia State just continues to prevail from what they were doing.
They're going to go deep on this play as well, and it's incomplete. Going to be 2nd and 10 from the 44. Still in their own territory, but moving the ball a little bit better now. 8:50 to go in this ball game.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Skips away.
He's got all kinds of time, looking for room to the outside. And he's just going to take it himself. He's got all kinds of room. And a hop, skips, and jumps out of bounds at the 43-yard line in Nebraska territory. So for the first time in a while, Georgia State on the move and looking to score in this ball game.
Looking to go up top on 1st down.
Pretty sure Mendoza's got a faster 40 than Tom Brady.
I would put a couple dollars on that. He looked decently fast there. Mendoza's looked to have a tight end there near the sideline, but evidently flew over his head and out of bounds. And they throw the blitz at him, Nebraska does, and they go for the quick, flat route, and his gain is 6 for a 3rd and 4 from the 37. From the 37, as time goes to the flat, can he get there? Not quite. Nebraska's defense does stand up, but I can almost put my mortgage on the fact that we're going to see a 4th down attempt here.
Defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead. It's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going
4th and 1 from the 34, going speed option. Tries to pitch it, and it's just too far in front. And that one goes out of bounds, and Nebraska's going to take over yet again.
Decision will be questioned. And here comes
If you're
the Nebraska
Nebraska,
offense back onto the field.
It's pretty close to the point where you can just run out the clock. Don't have to do too much. Don't have to put too much energy on your players.
I agree. 7 minutes to go in this game. We saw an incompletion there in the last play. And I don't know if you need to have Raiola and your starters out there. I mean, these guys are what's going to propel you possibly to a college football playoff berth and even further possibly. So maybe you think about their health as Raiola is going to throw a quick pass for a 6-yard gain up to the 43-yard line. Georgia State looking to get their offense back on the field once again and trying to get some more points on the board. But judging by this coverage, it looks like he's just going to go to the bubble route. And now he's going to hand it off. And Georgia State's defense was there that time. The game thinks that they were almost in Tristan Alvano, the kicker's range, because he's just got that much of a leg. 4th and 7 either way, and they'll punt it away to Georgia State. They'll take it at about the 15 and try to make a return out of it. They'll get about 15 of it back, and he'll start at the 30.
Georgia State offense returns to the field. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out.
So one more chance possibly for Georgia State to put some points on the board, and he wants to go deep, and that is just in a sea of white. And who else? Malcolm Hartzog. 3 interceptions himself on the day. That's a National Defensive Player of the Week if I've ever seen one. What a performance from him.
Out. 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Like, it is impeccable.
I mean, that's the definition of a great defensive ball game. 2 pick sixes, 3 interceptions. You can't play much better than that on defense, as we may be seeing last drive of the game here. That's why I respect Biggs. He's gonna play sportsmanlike, and he's gonna run the ball out. I respect it. Just getting to the end of this game and trying to keep everybody safe, morale high, move on to next week with nothing unexpected. As he'll get the bubble screen up to about the 30, and then they'll go down and run some more plays. 3 more. Well, 4 more, technically. 1st and 10 from the 30. They'll hand it off again. And up to the 5, or up 5 yards to the 25. Quinton Ives, 51 yards on the day on 12 attempts, so about 4 yards a carry. Coach, this is usually about the time where I look at the keys to each team and what they need to do. We'll talk about Georgia State first because they might be a little easier. What do you think that Georgia State's got to do going into next week? What do you think they got to look to do?
I think they can keep the same game plan. It's just more they made a few mistakes that they didn't need to, trying to force certain passes, but easy fixes. Defensively, I think they continue to send blitzes and continue to run their base stuff, and I think they'll be all right.
They got some decent pressure on Raiola today, and they stopped the run pretty well, but just maybe got to look to stop some of those over-the-top bombs because Raiola was having a field day with those as we hit the 2-minute timeout. And speaking of Raiola and this Cornhuskers team, I mean, they've got a huge game next week coming up against an ACC opponent, a Power 4 clash between FIU and Nebraska. So what's going to be, and we'll skip past that game for now just because you're going to be playing in it. What do you think Nebraska's keys are going to be for the rest of the season, going into this big conference play in the Big Ten and trying to make a playoff run, rather?
Well, the way they played on offense, I think they can, if they stick to that, I think they can make a run to the playoffs and maybe potentially a championship type of run. But I think they're just going to have to be very open to what he's seeing and continue to roll with what he's doing. I think he's playing phenomenal and is a very tough opponent to play.
And Coach Biggs is going to walk away with his second straight win in really dominant fashion. 23rd in the nation now, sure to move up next week. Coach G, I want to give you a big thanks for being here. This was good to have you in the booth. It's going to be a hell of a season. Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a hell of a season for both of you guys. And I'm excited to watch it along the way. Catch Coach G in action next time when we see Nebraska and FIU in Pitbull Stadium, as Nebraska's going to take the rest of the time off the clock. And Georgia State's going to move to 0-2 heading toward conference play. And Dylan Raiola, still the man. 49-14, Nebraska's going to walk off with a victory. Guys, for those watching, thank you for being here as we wrap up things in the ATL. Nebraska 49, Georgia State 14. The 23rd team in the nation goes on to win in dominating fashion as Hartzog wins player of the game, well-deserved. 3 INTs and 2 touchdowns on pick sixes. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I have been Big D alongside Coach G, and we will see you next time on PSB.